Hello there, everybody! This is AzumangaDiohFan speaking, and I'm back with another commentary. Guys, you're in for a treat, because today I'm going to be commentating on a review on one of my favorite anime series of all time, AzumangaDioh. Well, this review was made by a guy called Otaku Review, and he does a fantastically awful job reviewing the series. Since I don't know where to begin with this review, let's go ahead and start the commentary, shall we? Oh yeah, and because this guy takes 4.5 minutes to get to the actual review, I would normally skip over everything, but there is one part in the introduction that I do want to address.
Japanese students wear uniforms while American students don't.
So, let me get this straight. You're saying that American students don't wear uniforms when they attend school. Have you ever heard of private schools? Because even if you live in America and you attend one of those, you're still required to wear a uniform!
AzumangaDioh. If there is anything great about going to a Japanese high school, it's high school girls wearing sailor fukus. Yeah! There's nothing hotter than girls wearing high school uniforms.
Yeah, thank God no other anime in this category has this quality.
AzumangaDioh is a perfect example for demonstrating that a manga and anime series about high school girls can be popular and profitable by focusing on their personalities instead of their bodies.
On your mark, get set! Hold it! Miss Sakaki, your boobs have 8 centimeters on mine, so please step back 8 centimeters. What's up with that? That's not fair!
Did she say 8?
Which has led to other great titles like Lucky Star and K-On! It's a series that provides us a normal lifestyle with high school girls with no serious conflict or drama, and little to no storylines. The title of the series has no particular significance to the story.
And so do a lot of other animes. But the funny thing is, this had potential to be interesting trivia if there was a bit more of an explanation behind it, but as is, we don't get any of that. So if you weren't going to explain why the title was irrelevant to the story, then why have it in the review at all? You could have just cut this part out and nothing would have changed that much.
The title AzumangaDioh would be translated as Great King Azumanga in English. However, the English publishers seem to decide to leave AzumangaDioh as it is in Japan. Probably because some of the English-speaking otakus would be confused by the title if they left Great King instead of Daioh, seeing that there is no king in this manga. With that said, let's start reviewing this wonderful series.
But wait, didn't we already start doing that at the 4.5 minute mark?
Chio has skipped 5 grades to the 10th grade at the start of the series and is still at the top of the class. She is extremely smart and responsible for her age. For example, she was chosen by the other students to be the class representative. However, Chio-chan, as she is usually called, still has the naivety, desires, and fears of a child. Next one of our main characters is Tomo Takahino, the hyperactive nutball.
Hey, I'm Tomo Takino! When it comes to being hyper, I'll beat anyone hands down! The Wildcat High School Girl!
Tomo is a very hyper-energetic and competitive girl, despite being non-athletic and a slacker. She never considers nor cares about the consequences of anything she says or does. This usually irritates those around her, especially Yomi, her classmate since elementary school.
Yomi's crazy flexible because her body's made of almost nothing but fat! Double trap! Quit being so damn rude! But it's the truth! It is not true!
Here we have Koyomi Mitsuhara, also known as Yomi, the only normal person in the group.
Alright, time for some serious stretching, baby!
You're certainly energetic.
Come on, I'll push you from behind!
You will?
1, 2,
Yomi is a great school friend of Tomo's. She is the voice of reason and the most mature and serious of her friends.
You know, am I the only one who thinks that this guy is just reading word for word off the Wikipedia page for each character? Look, it's one thing to use outside sources to help you, but if you really feel like you need to copy word for word from a Wikipedia page, then I think more research should have been done.
Yomi is both smart and athletic, out of the girls. Her grades are second only to Chio-chan's, and while she isn't as good as Sakaki at sports, she holds her own. Despite appearing healthy and fit, Yomi is dissatisfied with her weight and struggles with her fondness for food, particularly sweets and spicy dishes. If Tomo pushes Yomi's buttons, Yomi will give her an uppercut that leaves Tomo unconscious on the floor.
You're really good at taking digs at people. For real, I'm just no match for ya. The fruit next door is a fruit that feeds on families. Come on, we'll take a dig at me, will ya? Good job hitting me with your left uppercut.
Then we have Sakaki, the tall, soft-spoken girl who has an obsession with cute animals. Because she is shy, she rarely speaks, and this is misled and admired as tough, mysterious, and cool, a reputation compounded by her natural athletic ability. In contrast to what other students think of her, Sakaki has no interest in sports and has a secret passion for all things cute. Despite her reserve, she has a very strong desire for friendship, leading her to attach herself to the group. Also, Sakaki is particularly taken with cats, but cannot have one at home because her mother is allergic. Unfortunately, cats hate Sakaki for unknown reasons, one in particular, a gray cat known as Kameko, who loves luring her close so he can buy her. Little bastard.
Yeah, Mr. Azuma, how dare you have a running gag in your anime/manga series?
And let's not forget their homeroom teacher, Yukari Tanizaki.
Okay. Starting today, I'll be your homeroom teacher. Name is Tanizaki. Nice to meet you all.
Not only is she the girls' English and homeroom teacher, Class 3, but a teacher with very unconventional methods and a rather close relationship with the class. Her students are casual enough to call her by her first name. Depending on the day, time, and her mood, she can be either a horrible tyrant or one of the sweetest, most touching teachers ever. Her behavior ranges from mercilessly teasing Chio-chan and hitting students with blunt objects to kind and gentle words and simple, encouraging notes on tests telling students she believes in them. She is often selfish, irresponsible, miserly, generally dysfunctional, and also easily angered, and shamelessly expects her friend and fellow teacher Miyamo Kurosawa, aka Miyamo, to not only tolerate all this, but to enable it. She becomes jealous when Miyamo gets more attention from the students and tries to make herself look better in front of the students in order to get attention. Oh, and one more thing, this bitch can't drive for jack shit. I'm not even kidding with you. Her driving is so bad that Chio-chan was traumatized for life.
Funny that you mentioned that, because I know of another character that has a similar personality and is from the exact same series. Do you remember talking about Tomo Takino earlier in the video? Well, basically, Yukari is like an adult version of her. Hell, there's even a whole section on one of the Wikipedia pages that you're obviously reading off of that explains this. So, with that said, how come it's okay for Tomo to have a similar personality, yet when Yukari acts like this, all of a sudden it becomes a problem? Now, you could argue that at least with Tomo, she does care for her friends in her own way, but I'm just going by his abridged Wikipedia descriptions here. Well, folks, now that the video's over, it's time to give my final thoughts. Wow. I mean, wow, was this review lazy. Not just because he was obviously reading off the AzumangaDioh Wikipedia pages, but because this, to me, didn't feel like a review at all. It seems like he took two completely different videos, one of which was the differences between American and Japanese high schools, and the other was part of an AzumangaDioh video, compiled them together, and called it a review. Now, you could argue that he talked about the other elements in the next part, but then again, this sort of thing doesn't require a second part, because if you take a look at Jesu Otaku's review of the same series, it's almost the exact same length. However, she covers more than just one element of the show. And hell, even beyond the trailer's review of Frozen was better, because despite the fact that it was heavily flawed, at least it actually felt like a review since she doesn't drag out her arguments to the point of redundancy. So anyway, that's all I gotta say. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is AzumangaDiohFan signing out.